Yeah, thank you for having
Hey,
me.
so Kylie, this is my buddy, co-host Kenny Pitts II. Uh,
Hi, nice to meet you.
How you
Also, it's
doing? Nice
Kaylee,
to
by
meet
the
you.
way. I know, like, it gets confusing, but it's Kaylee.
oh, it's Kaylee.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh man, okay. I'm sorry, Kaylee. I didn't know. I
You're
didn't.
good, you're good.
All right, yeah, we're good friends. We go back to the Bay Area. Grew up, really good friend of mine. And this young lady right here, KP, is my buddy's daughter, Rafa Sandoval, and her mom, Melissa Sandoval. She's the oldest of her siblings. She's a really good kid, good athlete. She just graduated from high school last year. She's a freshman. Kind of got her freshman year cut short because of COVID.
Yeah.
But you're looking
Oh
at her.
yeah,
Yeah.
we was talking to her dad.
What's that?
We was talking to her dad, right?
No. He probably will never come on my show. His dad, her dad don't like doing stuff like this. He just
I'm
like
sure he would, maybe.
he just like to coach softball and be with his family and drink cold beer when he get a day off, man. He's just like us, man. He's a real man. He's one of the guys when I got down here, Ken. After my second year here, my daughter crossed over to another league, and he took my daughter in and treated her really good, and so that's how we became good friends because our daughters played. She has a little sister that's the same age as my daughter, and they played all stars together. And that's where the friendship kind of came together. We hung out a whole summer, whole all-star season, so our friendship. And we met her. She supported her little sister, came to all the games. She's really popular too as a person, but so it's kind of see.
Yeah, my family revolves around softball, so I
Yep.
always got good deals with them.
So that's a little background right there, KP, on this young lady. So I wanted to bring you on a college kid to get a little viewpoint. So Kaylee, welcome to the Glue, episode 13.
Thank you.
It's pretty fun. And so we've been doing this now. A lot of interesting people have been coming on, and it's been a lot of good, dialogue. So the platform actually worked. I thought it was going to be a bust, but people telling me it's pretty fun. So I'm pretty excited. So get right to the first topic. Obviously, COVID-19 kind of impacted the whole world, changed everybody's life. And
Yeah.
we're going to get into your personal life in a minute, but we just want to get your opinions on COVID-19 and how it has impacted you and your life at this point right now.
Yeah, so I'm a college freshman and I go to San Diego State and I lived on campus, so I lived in the dorms. And dorm life or just living on campus was absolutely insane because everything happened so quickly. It was a matter of about a week when we got the emails. We had emails back to back to back, like every single day in a matter of a week. The first parts where it was saying that we can go home, but we won't be receiving a refund. And then the next day it was, you can go home and we will give you a refund if you're out by the next 3 days. And then 2 days later, we get an email saying that we have 1 day to get out. Everyone has to move out. So it was really insane. Before that week, people were already getting sent home because their parents were very concerned about what was going on. And living in a dorm, we live so close to so many different people. And it's just when one person gets sick, everyone in the dorm gets sick. Like, that's just how it is. And so a lot of people were already getting sick, but this was at the time when people didn't really know or take corona seriously yet. So I do believe that a lot of people on my campus did have corona. They just weren't tested for it, because my roommate, for example, she had an 104 fever and got tested back negative for the flu. And so many other people were getting tested back negative for the flu, and the nursing clinics were jam-packed, and social distancing wasn't really a thing yet. So when we finally got the news that we had to leave, we had to pack up in a matter of hours and had to get our parents to come over. And one of my roommates is from Utah, and her mom couldn't come down yet. So my parents had to pack me and her stuff into our car so that she can live with me, because we had no other options. We were getting kicked out right then and there. There were some exceptions. I don't know exactly what they were, but it was so fast. I didn't even get to say goodbye to all of my friends. The transition to online classes was horrible. Some of my professors are so old and don't know what they're doing online, and I ended up having to do myself most of my stuff in my class.
Ken, that sounds like us being professors. No.
So yeah, It was very hard. Everything happened so fast, and it was extremely sad. And it required a lot of self-motivation to do online school because it it was hard teaching yourself everything.
Wow. I never really thought about that. I was thinking like, because I don't have any kids in the dorms. I got a kid in college right now, but they are in the dorms. I didn't think about that impact until I saw it on the news, and immediately I did think about you, because you're local, and I know you. Like I said, our families are friends, so I knew you were going over there, and
Mhm.
just thought like for you, maybe you got a little lucky because you're a local kid. But yeah, I
Yeah,
think about the impact. Like, what if you lived in Boston? What if you
yeah, exactly. I mean,
whatever? Like,
so I was in a triple. My other roommate was
mhm.
from Hawaii, so she had to hop on a plane. But her parents actually wanted her to leave earlier, so she ended up leaving before they gave us that 1 day deadline. But yeah, it was insane. And to like add on, as if everything wasn't terrible enough, it was raining the day that we had to move out. So
Oh
everyone was
man,
like running to their cars
Mm.
with their boxes and just like trying to cover. It was a scene, but it
wow.
was terrible.
Moving in the rain sucks.
Yeah. Especially when
Moving.
there's thousands of kids doing it at the exact same time and traffic is intense too.
Yeah, yeah. So, so with that being said, I guess I can't really ask you too many questions. How was life on campus with COVID? Because they kicked you guys out of there like immediately.
Yeah, I mean, before
Yeah.
that, obviously, I was so grateful to be able to be living on campus just because when deciding where to go to college, I knew that I could not leave Southern California. Like,
Yeah.
there was no way I could. Like,
Right.
I've lived in
Right.
Southern California my whole life, not always in San Diego, but in Southern California. And I just could not see myself living anywhere else. So when I decided to go to San Diego State, mainly for their journalism program, I really wanted to still have a sense of independence and live on campus, and I was able to do that, and it was really cool. It really makes you more kind of talkative to more people, more outgoing. I mean, I was already outgoing, but it made me
just,
you
just,
know
just a little bit.
yeah, I made like a ton of new friends. Sports on campus were so fun. I mean, San Diego State basketball, insane, and the arena was like a block away from where I lived. And yeah, I loved living on campus. Everything is right there. My meal plan was so good. San Diego State meal plan, top notch. It does not fit
Wow.
anywhere else. It's so good. I
Wow.
miss my meal plan.
Wow.
Ooh,
That's a plug right there
I
for any
never
kid.
heard that.
Yes.
That's
I
a
never
first.
heard I never
We have
heard that either.
our meal plan. We have Panda Express, Rubio's, Subway, Lolita's, like so much stuff. It's insane.
Wow. Well, hey, so since you went right into that, so let's go ahead. Well, I was going to ask you, did you have anybody now? Say, so when you came home, because your age group is really important for a lot of topics we're going to touch later on. That's why I brought you on. So when you got home now, so you and your roommate are back home, you're living at your family house. Now you're hearing stuff going on. Did you hear about any people in your community in San Diego? Not so much your campus life, of anybody getting COVID, like a relative or a close friend.
Yeah, actually. So like I said, I'm pretty positive that a lot of people from San Diego State, including locals that went to San Diego State, did have it. When I got back home from living on campus, it was about 2 weeks after I got back home. I got insanely sick. It was the worst sickness I've ever had. I wasn't able to get up to even go get tested for corona, but I've never experienced anything like it. And I'm actually going to get an antibody test soon to see if I did have corona, but I was quarantined for my whole family, just in my room. My mom only coming in to help me with some things. But I did have some other friends that had family members get corona. So it was real. And it made me very upset seeing how some other people my age weren't really taking it seriously, because we had the stay-at-home orders, we had social distancing, and there were some groups of people, not even just my age, there were some older people too that just seemed like they didn't really care about it, and they seemed like, oh, it's just the flu. I just heard that a lot. It's just the flu. It's nothing even worse. It's fine. Like, if we get it, it's fine. And people just going out doing their normal things. And for me, I I think I had it. I know friends who had family members that had it. And I even think my roommate had it. Like, it's so real. And if you keep up with the news, not even just the news that you see on TV, but I get a lot of my news from Twitter, along with a lot of people my age. We get a lot of our news from
So
Twitter.
do I.
Yeah. And so just seeing so many different people and their experiences, their symptoms and everything, it was crazy to me to think that some people don't even think it's real. And to see the protesting of people wanting to go out to get haircuts. Like, yeah, it was weird to me, like seeing all of that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You're right. It was all age groups. I was just curious because people wanted to like label like the young people, but I saw people my age that was like, Dad, I'm doing what I want to do. So yeah, I appreciate that. Hey, Ken, you got anything for her on COVID-19, or you want to move on?
Yeah. Do you have any conspiracy theories about the virus?
Not exactly. As far as the virus goes, I was just very strict on staying social distance from people and not going out. And a lot of my friends were too. I didn't really look into conspiracies. I just thought this is a serious problem going on right now. And if we're being told to social distance, even if we don't think we have symptoms, we should be doing it because we might have symptoms in 2 weeks. And if we don't know that right now and we're going out to grocery stores with people that might have like different sicknesses, or with people that have old parents, like we can be giving it to them without even knowing. So this whole entire time, regardless if the media is being a little more dramatic, I don't care. I don't want to be responsible for giving other people the virus, even if I don't know if I have it. So this whole time I've just been following all the rules that I've been given because I think it's important to like stop the spread.
Better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah. Ken, I told you, man, it's a good girl right here, man. Her parents raised a gem. Hey, I want to tell you, man, thank you for like being really a disciplined kid. It's going to take you a long ways in life. With that mindset, don't let nobody break your spirit. You have a really good soul, and it sounds like you are always going to be open to like listening and following following the rules, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can have a personal opinion about it. You can be kind of like mixed feelings, but if this is really going down and you know somebody's dying behind this, you might want to adhere to the rules. So good for you, Kaylee. Good for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got
go ahead.
I got a lot of friends that go to beauty shops, nail shops, and I'm looking at them like, where do you have to go? Like you getting all dressed up to go home?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So, hey, go ahead and tell us a little bit about who you are at this point right here, because we can move on a little bit. But take your time to, you're a young kid. Some people we say tell us who we are. We got to speak till we fall asleep because they're about 55 years old, so it takes forever. So you being so young, go ahead and go ahead and get a little bit of your childhood. Talk about that. Where were you actually born? What was that like? And growing up in the household with the Sandoval family, and then go ahead and talk about your outstanding high school career. I mean,
Okay.
I only been knowing you for I think 3 years, and your career was just I watched the whole thing unfold in front of my eyes. Ken, that girl is amazing. I mean, destined for greatness. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about UC High, well, the diversity of that campus, the programs it offered. What did it do to you to help you be the person you are today? And then let us know.
So, well, first off, right now, where I am right now, of course, like everything that I've had, everywhere I've been to school and everything has influenced what I'm doing right now and what I'm studying. I'm a journalism major and I am a minor in television, film, and media at San Diego State. I'm a second year right now. And I want to work hopefully in the sports world or in the social media world, something like that. But I've wanted to do this since a very young age, and it's because how I was raised, obviously. I'm the firstborn. I have 2 younger sisters, and growing up, we were always told that we have to be playing at least one sport. Like, my parents didn't care what it was, but you have to be staying active, and they thought it was really important to be involved in sports. And now I can see why. I think it's very important for kids to be in sports for so many reasons, not just to stay active, but I think it develops a lot of leadership skills, teamwork skills, and communication skills. So I'm very grateful that I was able to play so many sports. So when I was younger, I was born in Brawley, California, and I lived in Imperial Valley for about 5 years, and that's where I started my t-ball career. And then I moved a lot as a kid. I don't know. We were just trying to get into a good place, and we ended up in San Diego, so it worked. Then in Orange County, I lived there like right before San Diego. I was still playing softball, but that was the only sport I was playing. I was also really into school. I loved school. I just loved learning. And then I moved over to San Diego. I went to 2 different elementary schools, but still playing sports. Then went to middle school, and I started playing at Claremont Girls Fast Pitch in 6th grade, I think it was. I moved from UC Del Sol, but we don't talk about that. Claremont is where it's at. There, I started really loving softball. My coach is Mark West, and I was on the all-star team, and we were the first team to get a banner up in that league. So if you go there right now, I think it was in 2015, we won the district championships. So that was me and my team. I loved softball. It was so fun, and now just like seeing the league grow so much. I mean, I like still go work snack bar, and I still go to watch my sisters play, my dad coach, and it's amazing where the league has come. And then once I got to high school, I was still playing softball my freshman year, but unfortunately, because of the coaches and just the style of the team and how it was being managed, I kind of didn't find it fun anymore. Doesn't mean I don't still love the sport. I love seeing it, love supporting it and everything. I just didn't find it fun to play anymore. But I am an athlete, and so I tried out for another sport. My sophomore year in the summer, I tried out for field hockey going into fall, and field hockey, I did not know what that was. I had no idea. I was like, field hockey, like lacrosse? Like, I don't know what that is. I've never heard of anyone play it, and the stick looks weird. How do you play it? So my parents were like that too. My parents were like, field hockey? Okay, like if you're playing a sport, go ahead. And so I picked that up in the summer before my sophomore year, and tryouts were insane. Field hockey conditioning is on another level, and I was not as fit as I thought I was. I actually threw up the first 2 days of this like practice, and I was like so determined to just keep going back and back and back, because I did not want to be one of the weak ones that just left after the first day. We had 2 practices each day. Morning would be conditioning on our track, and then afternoon would be stick skills. And it was insane, but I was grateful for it because I had never felt like this passionate about going on to just, it was just more like self-pride. Like I needed to make the team, at least JV.
Right.
And so then the email came out of what the teams were, JV and varsity, and I was terrified. I was like, oh no, like I put my all into this. I really hope I made the JV team. And I opened it up, and there it was. My name was on the JV team, and I was stoked about it. I was, oh my goodness. I told my parents about it, and they were extremely proud. And so once I got on the team, I was like, okay, now that's not good enough. Now I need to be one of the best players on this team, if not the best. So I start watching more videos, just getting a better understanding of the sport. I started practicing at home. You know, my dad as a coach, he always says one of the most important things to do as an athlete is to practice when no one else is watching. And that's exactly what I was doing. So I would go back to practice, you know, with more skills. And that season, I ended up getting pulled up on varsity, and we won a tournament. And I had one of the assists in that game to take us to the championship. So it was insane, like how much progress I made in 1 year. But it was because of that work ethic that I think my parents taught me. That was the reason I was able to get pulled up so quickly. The next season, I was in love with field hockey. Field hockey was my number one. I played lacrosse too in the spring just to keep myself in shape, and just because I know the importance of kind of expanding your sports knowledge and just like playing more sports even when you're off season, because it can help you in so many different ways. But field hockey was my life at this point. It was how most of my family feels about softball. I was so passionate about field hockey. I joined club teams. I traveled to Florida to get scouted. I did get scouted by a couple of D2 schools. My senior season, I was the captain of the team. I won Athlete of the Year at my high school. I won Under Armour Women of Will Award. And I also I also ran track for a little bit, but again, my main priority was field hockey. And I loved it so much. My coach was amazing. It taught me a lot more leadership skills than I had previously, and how to manage different types of people, because you can be a good leader, but if you don't know how to get your point across to different people, where are you going to go? You're not going to go that far. And you also need to be able to take responsibility for your mistakes or for different things going on. And being a captain that year was one of my favorite things of my whole high school experience, because we went so far. We won league for the third time in a row, the third year in a row. We went pretty far in CIF. Unfortunately, not as far as I wish we would have gone, but it was.
Kaylee, let everybody know the name of your high school, where it's located, and the section level that you play in, and probably a little bit the enrollment of your high school. So in case someone's listening, you might inspire some young people, and they might be high school.
So I went to University City High School. I love that school. It's in University City. It's near UTC Mall. A lot of people don't know what UC is, but yeah. So it's in between UTC Mall and Claremont area. It's not that big of a school, but like I said, I love it. Our field hockey team was D2, and our whole sports life was so fun there. Like, the school spirit that we had at games was so fun. Actually, this past year while I was in college, my school won Battle of the Fans, which was really crazy because I was a spirit leader my senior year, and we were so close to winning, but we didn't. But our basketball games are always hype. Football games, hype. I like basketball games more, but all of our games are hype. And our academics are really good too. We offer so many different clubs. I was president of journalism club. It really helped my writing a lot. I now know how to write for news, opinions, features, and sports. And it really helped my photography skills too. And there's so many other clubs too. I couldn't list all of them because there's such a diverse group of them, but there's a lot of options. And if there's a club that isn't there, you can easily start it. It's not that hard. So I was really grateful to be able to go to UC because I love that school. I still think it's a great school, and I always recommend it to kids that are part of the choice program and have a chance to go wherever they want to.
Awesome. So just a little bit, tell us about so you're, as a kid in your household, what was some of the things that was going on? Like, a lot of us, or a lot of people in America don't realize that some people don't grow up with both parents in the house. Some people don't even grow up with their parents. They might have their grandmother taking care of them, or it's tough out there. But it sounds like you were blessed to have a mom and dad there.
Yeah, I was.
A little bit more about behind your parents, like your grandparents, or any other influences like that.
Yeah, for sure. So like you said, I was very blessed to have both my mom and my dad in the picture. When I was younger, I lived in Imperial Valley, and one of the things I'm most grateful for from my parents is moving me out of living in the valley, because living there are little to no options as far as what to do after high school. A lot of people just get their diploma and go straight to working and don't even really think about college. And it just my parents lived there their whole lives, and they saw it in front of their eyes that a lot of people just get into drugs or get really into alcohol or just have kids right out of high school or just go into the work field right after high school because there really isn't much to do there. And so I lived there for 5 years of my life, and that's actually part of the reason that we kept moving around, because my parents wanted to build a strong foundation for not only me but my younger sisters. And we ended up here in San Diego, and they wanted to move in San Diego. This was their end goal because I have the options of staying local, which I ended up doing at San Diego State. But I have all these college options. I have UCSD, I have USD, I have San Diego State, and I'm not that far from a lot of the other UC and CSU schools. So they wanted to be able to do what their parents couldn't at the time. They wanted to move us here so that me and my sisters could have better options to do with our lives and just have so many opportunities, which I have had so many opportunities just in high school alone. And yeah, that's one of the things I'm most grateful for. As far as my grandparents, they still live in the valley, and we still go to visit them a lot. Um, both both sides of my grandparents immigrated from Mexico, so it's just every single generation has made their kids' life better, and I've seen it in front of my eyes. And I think also being the oldest, and being like the most mature, I've been able to really understand the choices of my parents and be more grateful for it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Ken, you got any questions for this outstanding young lady? You see, she's making us look bad, man. She got this journalism background and media. Man, she got us looking real bad over here. Go ahead, Ken.
No, she's very thorough in her answers.
Yes, she is. Yeah. Well, and the reason why I wanted to highlight that, Kaylee, is because when you go out there in the public sector and people see you and they say, "Wow, look at that kid, man. She is amazing." First of all, I feel that way about you when I see you. I think you're an amazing kid, but I want your parents' story to be told, because I'm getting a little bit tired of, they prop our little minority heroes up, our kids, and put us up there. They put us up there. But if you ever notice, they don't really want to hear about how you got there. Like, no one really cares about the people who birthed you in the world. They don't want to hear about the struggles that the people who birthed you in the world, what they went through to get you to San Diego State, to get you that leader, get you in that journalism program, get you to be that magnetic individual that everybody gravitates to today. But they don't really want to tell the story behind that beautiful brown individual. So that's why I take those moments out to highlight, Rafa and Melissa and, your grandparents, because it's real important, no matter where you go in life, Kaylee, always remember to let people know who your parents are, because that's how you break down a lot of crap in this country, is by letting people know where you came from and how they were and put in to develop the person that they are, that you were developed from Latino parents, and they were born of two parents who crossed over the border. So that's an amazing story, and that should always be in the front. That should never be in the back. That should be always in the front. Yeah, you see me, but let me tell you how I got here. Look, here go my mom and dad. Okay, so I always want to do that because I have a lot of respect for your parents. So good job for you. So now let me see here. So we talked about who you were and who you are, and went through your college life a little bit. So now let's dig into a couple things about what's going on right now, the justice system. You obviously are very aware. You are in media. You're a journalist, so this is right up your wheelhouse. Can you let us in a little bit from a journalist perspective? I don't know if you saw the video went viral where the brother was working for CNN.
Yeah.
And then they actually arrested him, did all kind of junk to him. So can you enlighten us a little bit? I know you're only a second-year journalist student. I kind of got a few of the answers, but I want to hear from you. What are some of the do's and don'ts? Because I think sometimes when people see TMZ and they just run out there and paparazzi all up in the tree hanging, that's illegal. But the reality, from a little bit of information I gathered, it's really not illegal. There's a certain limit to what you could do. Video, there's an intrusive level. Yeah, there's a word called class. It's not classy, but I think sometimes people get a little like, man, that's illegal. Man, get that camera out my waist. But that's vandalism. Do you break that dude's camera, or her camera, and she can sue you. You can't be doing that. So let us know a little bit of the do's and don'ts in journalism, and particularly let's stay on to where we're at right now. Police brutality, and as a journalist, how would you approach a scene like that if you saw something going down? You were over there, you run it in. Let us know how would you approach. Walk us through that.
So I did see the video of what happened to the CNN crew. It started with the black reporter, but the other cameraman and the producers were later arrested too, just minutes later.
Okay.
But what he did was not wrong at all. If he was being very polite, which is one of the big things that we learn as part of journalists, is you have to be polite to people, or else they're not going to want to talk to you, especially when something so crazy or so sensitive is going on. You can't just try to report it and just kind of disregard people's feelings or disregard the environment. You really have to read the room. And so when I saw that video, I was outraged for a lot of different reasons. I've been pretty outraged throughout this whole entire movement, and as more videos keep coming out, It's been making me very upset, and I've just been doing my job of spreading the word, calling officials, signing petitions. But yeah, so what he did was not wrong at all. The police were actually breaking the First Amendment. He has the right, he has the freedom of speech, first of all, and then we also have the freedom of press. And he was standing in the place that the police had told him to stand. So there was absolutely no reason for them to go over there and handle the manner like they did. And I just think it was perfect that they were still live, so that people can
Right.
see what was really going on. Because you already know, if they weren't live, then there would be some people saying, oh, well, he was probably being rude, or what did he do for them to handle it in that way, which they shouldn't have handled it in that way regardless. But yeah, everything that's been going on, not even just as a journalist, but just as someone a part of Gen Z, like that. So Gen Z, I think, is really important because a lot of us are fed up with things that we're seeing today in our government and in our country, and we are making a change. It's not just our generation, obviously, but we have been growing up seeing how important our voices are and how important our actions are. So I think a lot of kids my age, a lot of kids in my generation, and kids that are millennials, are really taking action, which is amazing to see, because without us, we don't know where we would be right now. And a lot, like, I learned this in my poli-sci class, actually. So a lot of people try to tell us that our vote doesn't matter, but it does. It does a lot. And I think that's really important, that people understand how much our vote does matter, how much our voices matter, how much it matters to be actually taking action, not just reposting something on your Instagram, but signing petitions, calling officials, and also just informing your family on what's going on.
Absolutely. Well said. I mean, you covered it all. I mean, I appreciate you educating us on that journalism part. Like, so you're saying sometimes when there's a scene, a crime scene or whatever it may be, when the press come up there, you're saying that the police usually have an area they say, hey, you can stand right here. We'll send someone over to give you a statement later on, but this is the area you got to be in.
Yeah, well, it's not always the police, but there's a lot of times there will be someone's kind of like guiding them, telling them where they're allowed to be. But on the journalist side, it's always just part of our ethics just to just be courteous and just ask like where you're allowed to go and like where's the line that you shouldn't cross. I mean, that is unfortunately crossed a lot of times, but we do learn, like, when studying journalism, that you do need to be polite, you do need to be following the rules on where you should be going and where you shouldn't be.
Okay. Ken, you got any questions on that while we on this journalism and how they handle like these little scenes and stuff like that? I think you're muted, I think, Ken. Oh, okay. I think you're muted. Let's see here. Oh, well, he's not, I can't hear him. So hey, let me ask you this then, Kaylee. So Kaylee, so now you said Gen X and you guys need to pay attention. Let me back up real quick. So let's the justice system. Let me ask you a question specifically in the justice system. So you made an interesting point. You said that your generation need to pay attention to voting and things that night, and I totally agree with you. I think even more so, your generation need to pay attention to the local votes, voting. That's really big time, because that's how you get those chancellors and districts and leaders and all those people that handle the budget when it comes into your little community. Like a lot of people get caught up on the presidential election and dismissed how important the local elections are. But more importantly, I want you on here. The question I got for you specifically, and I think a lot of people don't understand this, when these Supreme Court justices are being voted in, I think people, they ignore that. The mass public, they don't even pay attention to these Supreme Court justices, but they are major, because they're the ones that's going to be determining all these major cases. And the worst part about it, if you don't really pay attention to who they anoint, they are lifetime anointing. They're in for life. So if they put a 35-year-old Supreme Court justice in there, then that dude's up in there for 80 years. And if he's a racist or she's a racist, man, it is screwed up for quite a long time. That's why Thurgood Marshall was such a big deal, because he only brother sitting there, only person sitting there for so long. He was like, man, why don't you retire? His old ass was like, I can't retire. If I retire, y'all done. That's how important his word was. He lopsided so many votes just by him just being the last one in the room. So you need 2 or 3. So you have Thurgood, and then you got to swing 2 more. Well, think about it. If you ain't got the numbers, people ain't got a chance. Numbers, our strength by numbers have to be there. So what do you think about that? Do you think there should be some change? Because that's really where a lot of these heavy-handed laws come from, or how would you say someone presents a case to the Supreme Court, and if they are biased, they just kick it out to the side. So what do you think about that importance of that, or having some immediate changes in the justice system?
Yeah, I mean, the media tends to not show a lot of things that are going on, or just kind of hide things so that they can just go by without people knowing, which is why it's really important for people to stay educated, and for people to know how important it is to be voting the right people in, and to be just staying informed on these people. So yeah, obviously there does need to be a change in a lot of systems of our government, and that starts with us. That starts with us being educated. That starts with us helping our family and our friends stay educated, know what they're voting for, know who they're voting for, and just going into elections knowing who these people are, because
Absolutely.
they're here to represent us. So there's no excuse to not know who's going to be representing us.
If I'm not mistaken, wasn't Obama supposed to put somebody on the Supreme Court, and they blocked him until he was out of office so Trump could put somebody in? So that shows you,
there's
just
a
the
lot
power
of shady
of
things
man.
that go on.
That was real shady.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So now let me ask you this. This is really important to me. I asked another guest about this, and the quality of life of minorities on a campus like SDSU. Because when SDSU, for anybody watching this, man, that is an amazing university. I mean, it's set right here in the south end of San Diego, just like 7 or 8 miles away from like 4 or 5 beautiful beaches, surrounded by golf courses. You have the Mexican border right here if you want to dip over to Tijuana and visit some beautiful people down there. By the way, don't listen to the hype. There's a lot of beautiful people right there in that border life. San Isidro, Rosarito, all those little cities up in there. I know a lot of people since I've been down here that live in Mexico and working over here in the States. And when I came down here, one of the first things that people say, oh man, Brown's a lot of Mexicans, be careful. I'm like, be careful. Man, after about a year and a half, I was like, be careful my ass. These people is cool as fuck. I love these people down here. I mean, they took me in and showed me a lot of different stuff and told me all kind of foods and stuff and all the amazing. Ken, Ken, you've been working on your diet, but boy, you come out here, Ken, man, you're gonna gain some weight. They got some taquerias down here. Woo! Oh man, the food down here is amazing, especially if you go to Chula Vista. So with that being said, it was a couple of stories that came out. Campus life, some minority students were upset about programs being cut. The student Latino, I think the Latino student body, they were saying like, hey man, they're not really embracing our culture down here. They kind of kicking all these fine arts departments and kicking all our stories to the side. Can you enlighten us on what's going on campus life on the SDSU for minority students? Because we all know most of the university are all mostly white. So let's just get past that.
Yeah.
They're white. So even if you Black, Mexican, Filipino, whatever, you are not the majority. So explain to us about how does it look? How do you feel? If it's great, hey, speak on it. If you feel like you're being not really looked at that well, talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I only had 1 semester there, so I'm not
right. That's right.
Like that. However, I personally did not find a problem being a minority on campus. I mean, like you said, there is a majority of white people, but it's still a really diverse school, and there's still different clubs that I know I can join. I just chose not to because as a first semester freshman, I was just focusing on my schoolwork and trying to adapt to different things. But as far as I was concerned, campus life was like okay for minorities. I didn't see anything wrong, at least yet. Maybe once I'm there for a little longer, I might be able to see or speak on that more. But personally, I didn't see much wrong with life on campus.
That's fair. My experiences with SDSU, I didn't see anything. I went there for March Madness a couple of years ago. They held a regional out there. You were in high school still, but I think they held a regional at Viejas. So I went there. Went there for Nick Cannon's Wild and Out show.
Okay, yeah.
You know, it was a really fun event, and I took my softball team for many softball games there. So I didn't see much either. But like I said, I'm an old guy with a bunch of softball players going there, so I'm seeing it from a little small prism. But I'm glad to hear that. So that's good to know, because a lot of people want to know about these campuses. They got kids, they want to send them to these places, and they don't want to send their kids to some place where they're not being treated fairly or getting looked at, because a lot of campuses got some crazy stuff on it. So I'm glad to hear that. Good. Go Aztecs.
Yes, go Aztecs.
Okay, let's move on here. I got another question for you. I'm trying to drain some information in case you ain't noticing. Let me see here. Yeah, this one right here, Gen Z, that's what you are, Gen Z, right? Mm-hmm. So here's the big one. So we got racism as thick as ever. We just saw a black man get murdered by the police on video. So we got the video. I'm older than you. Me and Kim remember the Rodney King beating. That was caught by a camera, 10 guys beating the crap out of him. All those cops got acquitted. People made up excuses. He was moving, why he weren't compliant. Now we got this video. This man, the cop only gets third-degree murder charge. The rest of them haven't been charged. So my question for you, and it really is kind of like your generation, what I would like to see you guys do and moving forward, and maybe you can help spearhead it for your own peer group and people around you, start digging into these officers and chiefs' backgrounds. We need to start finding out, how do they operate when they don't have the badge on? Because that will give you an indicator how they gonna act when they put the badge on. Because, for example, you're a journalist major, you see the basketball players at San Diego State, you see the football players, boom, 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 boom. They all have to act a certain way when they're around that campus area, right? But a lot of the student body know how some of these athletes really are by parties or them picking up on girls. They have a better idea, like, oh, don't let that dude fool you, man, he's a dirtbag, right? You know that because you know how they operate on the daily versus when they're in the gym in the game just scoring points and everybody think they're a hero and a god. But the reality, 10 girls can line up and say, no, that guy's a jerk, right? So the only reason why you know that, because you know what their daily life is. So what I would like to see you guys do is start being more intuitive about their backgrounds to help. Because remember, if you guys, if your generation, if you can stop this, like meaning like don't buy into this racism crap, and even if some people your age parents are racist, if y'all stop it, it can make a huge impact. Because a 70-year-old dude, the chances of him changing his ways, it ain't probably gonna happen. 45, 50-year-old guy probably ain't gonna happen. But an 18, 19, 20, 23, 24, 25-year-old, man, that could have a huge impact. Do you agree that your generation may be the I don't want to say the last hope, but man, it would be, it seems like it might be the last hope. What do you think about your generation? Because your generation is really under fire right now.
Yeah, I think our generation is very vital to seeing change in our country, because we obviously are like the next generation. We have the influence of not only our parents, but when we start having kids, we're not raising racist babies. Like, that's something that's taught. It's not just something that you're born with, So I think on not even just racism, but so many other problems that we're seeing right now, we're going to raise our kids to know what they should be doing and what they shouldn't be doing, regardless of what our parents were telling us. Because we have so much information at our hands. We have social media. We have all of these videos coming out that are so beneficial for us to kind of formulate our own opinions on what's going on right now. So because of that, and because of how savvy we are with the internet and how easy it is for us to gain so much information, I think we are so important to seeing change. Because as you've probably seen across of all social media platforms, a lot of people speaking up and taking action, going to protest, telling others to call their officials, writing in, are people that are around my age, people that are teenagers in their 20s, and we have the influence of so many people. I mean, a lot of people my age have tons of followers. So that's already that whole group. And then we have our friends and families. That's another group. Once we have kids, we have all that group too. So we are the change that's happening right now.
Wow. Ken, man, she killing it, Ken. What you got, Ken?
None.
I ain't got nothing. This is ridiculous. Yeah, Kaylee, yeah, I don't got nothing to say. You just nailed everything. I mean, you killing the kid. That is absolutely what I was looking for. I don't got nothing to say, man. That's it. You just basically said it all. Your generation can change it all. You can influence your grandparents. You can influence your parents. You can influence your aunties way over there in Delaware tripping. You know what I'm saying? You might come home. See, that's the thing. And people don't realize that. Like, the young people really hold the key because they can make their parents change. They can make their grandparents change, their friends, all the cliques. You got all these Instagrams and all these outlets. You can start calling people out, hold them to the carpet. So, man, you really hit it right there, kid. With that being said, I'm going to throw this last quarter. We're almost done here. I'm going to let you go. I know you got some things to do, but this is the one I wanted to see, get your opinion. I kind of know where you're going to go, hopefully, but there's a little segment where I call What If? Okay. What if you could make a change in the justice system, starting with the police department? So I'm going to give you get to do 3 things. Off the top of your head, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's messed up.
Oh, gosh, I know.
3 things is not going to fix everything. But if you could right now, immediate action, someone gave you the gavel and said, hey, implement 3 new rules inside of the police department. Let's start right there. We can't touch like all the White House. That's just too much. Let's just start with the police department, local police department, municipalities, taxpayers, protect and serve. What would be the 3 things you would put in right now to try to stem this we'll keep it clean, this misconduct by police officers right now?
Yeah.
Put in.
So one of the first things I would do is make sure that police are on the same level as citizens, because right now what it seems like they think they're on the tier right here and that whatever they do, it's fine because they're in their police uniform. But it's not. They're the same as us. If they're doing something to us that wouldn't be okay if we did back to them, why is it going on? Another thing is, like, why aren't they getting prosecuted as strictly as we would if we did the same exact actions as they're doing? And
so to make it, so you're saying that basically the police, just because you got the badge on and you swore in to protect and serve, but if you break the code of the law that you actually are supposed to uphold, it can be used applied to you exactly as if you weren't a police officer.
Yes. There's no need for them to be on this pedestal. Like, no, you're the same as us. And if you're doing such bad things to people, like, there's no reason you should be protected.
Okay.
Like, it doesn't make any sense at all, especially when we're seeing videos of people peacefully protesting and they think it's okay to just start tear gassing or shooting these rubber bullets or whatever that they'll cause a lot of damage. And they think it's okay to just yank people out of their cars, tase people. And there's so many things wrong with that. And I don't know how it's okay. I mean, our president obviously said what he said about, like, if they loot, they shoot, which I don't agree with at all.
No.
But I don't think there's a reason that their badge should be protecting them this much. Okay. If they're in the wrong, they're in the wrong. And they need to be getting the consequences for it.
What else would you like to see? What else would you like to see?
Yeah, so that's the first thing. I think another thing is I don't know exactly how we'd be able to do this, but trying to have better kind of background checks on police officers. I don't know exactly how we'd be able to see what they're like, but obviously if you know someone's a racist, you don't want them having the power that they think they'll be.
Kaylee, let me explain to you. Background checks and stuff like that, they know how to do that. And let me give you an example. When a top recruit comes out of high school, for Division I football, Division I basketball, which are the money makers, not to knock any other athletic sport in colleges, but none of them make no money. They're all, if you check the books, every single sport in the NCAA loses money except for basketball and football. That's why under COVID, some programs have actually been cut in some universities because they don't got the football money no more. So it's a big time business, right? So when UCLA wants the #1 player in the nation, what do you think they do?
Background checks.
And what else do you think they do?
Whatever they can to get them.
Let me enlighten you a little bit. They hire private investigators. They send private investigators down to your community, to your local high school, Helix High School. We want Reggie Bush. Well, guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna do a background check. They're gonna check out that. But guess what else they're gonna check out? Your cousins, your brothers, your friends, your classmates, the guy who owned the liquor store down the block, the wine factory. They go into every part of your life just so they can know what they about to get into, what they about to bring onto a campus. So the technique is already in place. They do it for NFL prospects. When you see the NFL draft, you see that kid go up there, shake the hand, you know how much they don't pick and choose his life? Went through every little thing possible to find every inch of dirt just to hold it against him when it comes to sign that contract. So what I'm saying, you could implement that for the police. Mm-hmm. All you gotta do is put a private investigator on a potential cop in the police academy and have him follow him around at night to the bars and whatnot and see what he's doing. And then when you see him choking some girl out or beating up some dude, it might give you an indicator. Don't give him a badge and a gun. So I was just doing that as kind of a trick question to you, but I just wanted to let you know that when you start your campaign and doing some good movements, make sure that you throw that part up in there. Yeah, you can if you want to find out about a police officer, their information is out there. All you gotta do is go to their local community and cruise around and see what they're doing. And that all you need to do is see one act, and that'll be enough. If you see him doing something shady, you're like, oh, I'm good. No, you see what he just did over there? So I think that would be a good start right there. Is there anything else you think probably you would like to see?
I think there's a lot of things that could be just even things that I'm not thinking of right now, but I think they also need to be held accountable for the things that they're already supposed to be doing. So, for example, their body cams, there's videos out right now.
Yeah, right.
Of them saying, turn off your body cam. Like, there's no reason they should not be following their own rules. And once those body cams are off, who knows what they're gonna do, or who knows what they think that they can do because of that. And just seeing some of the things that they're doing when they don't think anyone's watching. There's also videos of police officers like hiding bricks for protests that are going to happen. Like, there's just, I don't know. There's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
The police.
Ken, you got anything? Ken, you want to add to this thing here, Ken?
Yeah, I seen something that said that they should, if they have to pay money back or pay, these families, that it should come out of the police pension and not from taxpayer money. And a lot of people said that would help them straighten up if an officer mess up and then, 10 million comes out of their big money pile for their pension. That would make them shape up a lot. A lot of the times they know these people are racist, but that's okay because they're coming into a racist system. The system was built on racism. It was not built to be fair. So we do need to start getting younger people in to make these changes because our system is outdated. It was from the 17 and 1800s when we were thought of as like cattle.
Yep.
So we do need to change. And I think now, in light of everything that's been happening, change is starting to come. And sometimes you have to tear stuff down before you can build it up.
Yeah, I agree. All good points. Me personally, I think the biggest way to fix a lot of this stuff with the police department, I got to go back to the way I was taught. If the police officers must live in the community that they police, that is the biggest way if you want to fix this quickly. So if you are a police officer and you live and you patrol La Mesa, well, damn it, your ass better have a house in La Mesa. If you're a police officer and you patrol Southeast San Diego, Spring Valley, well, you better be living in Spring Valley, because that would make a person not want to have that job. Because the only reason why they go to those areas, because they want to get work. Like Ken said yesterday, they want to get their hands dirty. They can't get their hands dirty in Carlsbad. They can't get their hands dirty in Point Loma. Ain't no crime, ain't no goons. So they go to those communities because they want to try out their new tactics and their guns and shoot people and all this kind of stuff. Well, that's fine if you still want to get your hands dirty, but you need to have your residence here too, because that'll change the perception. So when they see 6 black kids walking down the street, if they live on that same block, the cop turns the corner, he going like, "Hey, what's up, Ken? What's up, Mark? Hey, how was football practice? Oh man, I'm tired. It was good, sir." Duh, you wouldn't be treating them like an animal because you know who they are. So that's the immediate, quickest way if you really want to fix these officer involved misconducts. Stop having people patrol areas that they don't live in. They don't know nothing about their culture. They don't know nothing about their people. And if you really think about it, you ever been to Chinatown? What do you notice that Chinatown has that most minority communities don't have in America? They have Chinese police officers. Think about that for a minute. When you cruise through a Chinatown, just focus your eye on the law officers inside of their radius of Chinatown. Now, I don't know about San Diego if they have a Chinatown. I haven't been around. But San Francisco has a Chinatown. Oakland has a Chinatown. And both those communities are ran by Chinese police officers. So it's a great place to start. It's a great place to start. Let me, so we're gonna get you out of here, Kaylee. Now here comes the fun part. Tell us about your glue people. The show is called The Glue. It's about people who help you, keep you on track, got you in there. It could be, tell us about anybody inside of your family. If it was your whole family, go for it. And then if there's anybody outside of your family that was a glue person.
Yeah. So I think I have a lot of people that are my glue. I think obviously my family, because I'm a big family person. They taught me a lot of things that I know right now. They've also taught me to kind of formulate my own opinions on things. So it's okay to disagree with some of the things that maybe my mom thinks, or some of the things that maybe my sister thinks. But it's also important to kind of relay that information back to each other and kind of further understand where they're coming from. And I think because I've learned that from my family, I'm able to do that with my friends. If my friends have different political views on certain things, we're able to kind of see where we both stand on things. And so with that said, I do have a few friends that hold me accountable for understanding what's going on in the world and for staying on top of everything that's going on, staying educated. So I think some of my closest friends, along with my immediate family, are my glue. They've
Awesome.
shaped me to the person I am today, and they hold me together.
Awesome. All right, Ken. Wonderful. Yeah. Once again, your Rafa and Melissa, they did an outstanding job. Beautiful family. I mean, you guys are like a radiant family. Pretty much the most popular family around here that I know. Everybody roots for you guys. So, yep, that's it. Ken, go ahead to that last part we do about this time. I can't hear you. Okay. Technical difficulties. He'll be right up in just a second. Here you go. Righty. Can you hear me, Ken?
Yeah, you got me now?
Yeah. Go ahead. There's the last.
Yeah, every time I get a call, it's dropping the sound for some reason.
Oh, you good, fam. You good.
All right. So this part is called the plug, where you can plug in a local business or a local organization that you feel is helping the community, or maybe even it's just somewhere or a business place that helped you out doing your life, through your endeavors and travels.
Okay, so I'd like to plug Claremont Girls Fast Pitch because I'm always there. They also shaped me into the person I am today. My family loves it. They're great for the community, keeping girls active, keeping them on top of things like learning teamwork skills, communication skills. Like I previously said, sports are so important to a development of a young child. And Claremont Girls Fast Pitch is an amazing place for young kids to do exactly that. Yeah, I love Claremont.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, well, you know what, Miss Sandoval, you killed it. Thank you
Thank you.
very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
I think it's going to be one of my favorite interviews so far. What you say?
Yeah, I
Thanks.
look forward to seeing you on television.
Thank you.
Yeah, I totally look forward to seeing you on television. And if there's anything you can do help clean our show up, you are more than welcome to send over any advice.
Got it. Thank you, guys.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, I appreciate it, Ken. You nailed it. I look forward to seeing you on ESPN one day. It's going to be nice.
Thank you.
I interviewed her.
Thanks, guys.
But okay, I'm gonna just wish you the best of luck at everything you do in life. You have a beautiful future. You're a great looking kid. You know, the sky's the limit. Just keep pressing forward. Keep that beautiful spirit you got, and I see nothing but great things for you.
Thank you so much.
Ken, thank you for your time, Ken.
Hey, no problem. I stayed put today.
Yeah, I know you stayed put. Yeah, good job, man. All right, you guys. Hey, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Peace.
Thanks, you too.
Peace.